It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and have wonderful guests. And my wonderful guest tonight is Dr. Susan Clinton, and we're going to talk about holiday blues and holiday weight gain and some of the things you might think about being able to do. So let me bring Dr. Susan on. Hi, Dr.
Hello,
Susan.
Gail.
How are you? How are you?
Good. It's just
Busy.
lots to do. busy.
Yes. I like that little rack you have behind you for your super patches. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice display. Black Friday sale where I capitalized on, some of the online sales to display some of the
cool.
great we have.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that I found out, and I know everybody worries about gaining weight over the holidays, and actually most people, they did a survey and most people think that they gain about 5 pounds. Well, they actually, the average real poundage is only about 1 pound, but it tends to persist year after year. So once you get it on, you don't get it off. So, I know that is frustrating. And then there are other issues during the holidays. Sometimes people get very depressed because they can't be with their family or family members are gone, either not available or have passed or things of that nature. So I thought we could talk about that a little bit and how we have some solutions that are totally natural.
Yeah, no, actually the holidays are very controversial because people expect an idealized version of, what picture perfect, the Hallmark greeting cards, the Christmas cards, and idealism it's at an unattainable standard, and projecting images or false reality of maybe things look great on the outside, but they're stressed out on the inside to make things look good. It's always keeping up with the Joneses in a sense in terms of decorations, getting people matching outfits. I mean, I kind of got caught up in the trap myself, and then it was just so stressful. I just it's dread, because if you actually, it starts, I mean, you see Christmas stuff as soon as Halloween is over, you go, I mean, essentially you go shopping and you see Halloween stuff in October, in August, and then you see Christmas stuff in October. So, kind of very,
it's an endless commercial entrapment for people, because every holiday they end up spending extra more money, and Christmas especially. It's my understanding people get charged up so much credit card debt that they are paying off their what they get for the next year or so.
Well, and also the gifts. It's the peer group of the kids, and I'm getting this for Christmas, so it's sort of like a financial burden. Even with the Black Friday sales, if you spend a lot, you can actually have $10,000 bill potentially, even if you're buying it on sale. If you're not going to use it, what's good is the sale. So there's a lot of pressure and being pulled in a million directions, which can cause a lot of stress. And then it's just becomes kind of like extra job that we already have work to do, extra cleanup. Then you've got, visitors that, you got to make sure they're happy. And it just comes, things are just a lot of stress because you want to make the best. And, there's the societal expectation and then the people, family, it just, um,
And you're
I think,
you don't want to be judged by it.
right, people
But
are
you're afraid that
judging
you will
each
be.
other. It becomes actually the spirit of it. It gets lost in the commercialism and the competitiveness and this extra, people one-upping each other. And it's stressful. And then people who have lost family, or if maybe they don't have, or far away from family, they don't have, they feel like they're, missing out on something. Or what, so the people that are presenting something that's picture perfect are, they're stressed. And then the people who don't, they opt out, they're depressed. So it's either stressed or depressed.
Yeah.
And then
But
until you
we have a patch for that.
exactly. It's there are solutions that can help rewire the brain. That if you have stress, there is a patch called Peace, and it actually helps with rewires the
Anxiety.
brain, anxiety. It actually helps just calm, well-being. In fact, if you look on the back of the package, it's the best way to, it is basically, it's one of the stress is one of the greatest enemies to our quality of life, and dealing with it has never been easier. It's a non-invasive and drug-free technology that may improve the general wellness through this Braille, essentially for the brain, and it allows users to experience improved clarity and calmness. So essentially, this helps you not get stressed because it rewires the brain through the skin. So it's amazing because the skin is literally, and the brain are connected, like brain connection. The gut is their connection with the gut and the brain, and now skin in the brain. And there's this code that recalibrates the brain to factory settings. Now, a good analogy is a computer when it starts not working very well. It'll start malfunctioning and you got to restart it. Well, it's almost like our brain when we are exposed to toxins in our environment, stressors, trauma, just injuries, age.
We get
All these
glitches in
things.
the pathway, right?
Yeah, and when you add stress to your life, the stress actually is peace. So to have a patch to actually help with stress is huge. Stress actually is one of the biggest cause of disease, because what it does is it causes the blood cells to aggregate, under the microscope. It's called a rouleau formation. And when you're stressed, you actually have your, and that actually deprives your body of oxygen, and that'll grow, actually without oxygen, your body, cancer will grow in a non-oxygenated state. Otto Warburg knew that in 1931. Also, pathogens, most of them are anaerobic. That means they don't like oxygen. So if your blood cells are, in rouleau, or they're stuck together, you're not oxygenating, you can't make ATP and use your mitochondria, which make the energy factories inside the cells, and they make a unit of energy called ATP, and 90% of that is actually created with oxygen. And if you don't have oxygen, if you don't have oxygen in the system, you can't actually make 90% of your ATP, because you need oxygen as an end receptor, and the mitochondria aren't working. It's called mitochondrial dysfunction. And the cells of the body that have the most mitochondria are the brain, the heart, and the muscles. So you get brain fog you get muscle fatigue, and you get heart irregularities if you don't have enough oxygen to actually fuel that, for the biochemical process of ATP formation or energy formation. So, and so that's stress can actually cause that in varying degrees. Oftentimes, when someone's really stressed, like has a major stress, like a death, or let's say they had surgery, or they lost their job, or they had a breakup, or they had, um, just even a smart meter, which actually EMF, a phone call, one phone call can cause your blood to clump within 2 minutes. Yeah,
Do we have?
it's 2 minutes of a cell phone. And
Do
you
you
know
have
what? And
that
the other,
picture by any
yeah,
chance?
I
Do you
do.
have that?
I do have the picture on my slideshow when I do my slideshow. So I'll go
Okay.
through all the slides. So but also when people have their blood clumping, oftentimes a lot of people have organisms that are dormant and they'll express themselves. So stress will be a prequel for people to get Lyme and co-infections, for instance, because those are kind of dormant in a lot of people. I mean, you've got, things like Epstein-Barr, which are infections people get, or CMV, or there's a lot of different viruses that actually stay dormant, and then when you get stressed, like herpes virus too, herpes HSV1, which is very common. 95% of people have it, but it'll express itself when you get stressed because your body doesn't have the oxygen to make the ATP to actually fix the damage done. And then, so pretty much all disease is caused by the lack of oxygen. So stress is so important.
Mm.
And that's the connection of why stress, why like type A personalities more likely would get heart attacks, and we're more likely to get cancer, and more likely to get Lyme disease, or to lose their health, because they would wear themselves out, and that stress would actually deprive their own body of oxygen.
Wow. Now, doesn't it raise cortisol levels too, which has
Yes, yes,
adverse
yes.
effects as well?
Yes. Yeah. So stress actually does cause adrenal fatigue ultimately, but it also raises cortisol, which actually causes insulin resistance. So people are more
Yeah.
likely to have high blood sugar and high blood pressure, and they just don't have the reserve. They also don't sleep as well, which is a kind of a positive feedback loop. Stress, poor sleep, and then the lack of cortisol, then it just kind of cycles over and over and over. It's like this vicious cycle of
It makes it
inflammation,
impossible to
oxidative
lose
stress.
weight too. I'm
Well,
sorry, I
if
didn't mean to
you
interrupt
have
you.
cortisol, it's on a high level, you can't. People on steroids usually gain a lot of weight. So people who are stressed also gain a lot because of that cortisol surge.
That's what I was getting
And
at. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Mm.
So, and and we have patches for sleep too that help you fall asleep 48% faster. It doesn't make you sleep. It's non drowsy, but it helps you sleep when you want to sleep. And it also helps you sleep 25% longer and get more REM sleep. So that cortisol will go down. So you can layer the REM patch for better sleep too.
Mhm. Yeah, I have used that, and I feel that what it really does is it improves the quality of your sleep.
Yes.
I've actually started experiencing bits and pieces of dreams, which I haven't had for a long time. And I just started using, the REM patch, and I really like it. And the
Yeah.
peace patches works wonders too, because stress is a killer.
Right.
It really
Right.
is.
It is. And, stress, people get stressed all year, but holidays just add the extra stress. Also, there's a patch called Joy, and it helps with
Oh, yeah.
making you feel better, like more joyful.
Yeah, like
Um,
some people get depressed during the holidays because they can't be with family members, or like I said earlier, someone may have passed, or and it's hard for them to um, feel the joy that they used to feel, and between peace and joy, it could be a wonderful combination.
Yes, it's true. In fact, hope and happiness, like never before, hope and happiness are perhaps two of the most important aspects of the human spirit. It has never been easier to find that joy and optimism in our lives. The Joy SuperPatch has a non invasive and drug free technology. And if you prove the sense of wellness and happiness through vibrant, so basically a code, the neural network for happiness. So, that gets corrupted by just trauma. And so you can rewire that within minutes and feel better and have a better outlook about things. You can see things half full or half empty, you know what I mean? And oftentimes the
Yeah.
optimists will have a better, less health disease, because they are looking at it half full as opposed to half empty, and it's just better quality of life when you actually can put things in perspective and not get stuck in some kind of petty drama.
It's kind of like what you were saying. Is I thought of the when I played my intro for the show, there was a little glitch in it. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I was thinking it's that's what happens to the pathways to your brain. It's like it's got a file, a corrupted file. So I have a
Right.
corrupted file on my intro. I have to re-upload it and get it, so the files are all fresh again. And that's basically the principle that this is working on, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's basically within minutes you actually have a texture, and that texture is specific for each neural network, and you can combine them and actually fine tune and customize them for individual issues. So if someone is stressed and depressed, and it's not there's no medical claims. We actually make no medical claims, and this is not something that it's for just to health and wellness. I mean, we're not curing any disease. I mean, that's very important to say. But let's say you're sad because situational sadness, and you're stressed, and you put peace and joy on, you can actually put things more in perspective. There's another patch called Liberty that actually helps with balance. So when you're putting up that tree, or you're actually decorating or doing all these extra things, and you're getting worn out, and you don't want to fall and break a hip, and people slip on the ice this time of year. There's ice and snow. It was 24 degrees where I live, and it's not that. So it's 24. So there was
Wow.
ice. There's ice in the ground, and so people will slip and fall and hurt themselves, and during the holidays it's harder to get help, and then there's a lot more,
Oh
so you want
yeah.
to, so this balance, it helps with your balance. And there's one actually that, we're talking about weight. There's one actually that raises your metabolic rate 25 to 45% within 40 minutes of putting the patch on. It actually raises your resting metabolic rate. You don't even have to work out to do it. And
That could be enough to prevent weight gain.
right. So if you get them before the holidays, you actually will not put on those
That's smart.
pounds. And you can avoid having to lose them after the holidays, because people will give you some candy, or you got to make ham or turkey, and you're eating mashed potatoes with lots of butter and cream. That's a lot of, weight gain.
It's
The
easier to
potential
prevent
weight
it
gain.
than it is to take. It's easier to gain it than it is to take it off.
Right.
For
And
some
I had
reason.
someone who measured, I had some, she's like a naturopathic doctor, and she measured with her review machine, and she actually put it on herself, and our resting metabolic rate was 1,000, and it went up to 1,445. That's a 45% increase. Now
That's amazing.
they're making a claim of 25, but some people have more than 25. 25 is the minimum.
Wow, that is big, and it's not something that it's not like speed, or it's not like something. It's drug free, and I think that's really,
And
really,
it's
really
supplement
important.
free, and there's no pills. You just put it on your skin, and it's there's no pills, and you don't have to do anything. Now, if you want to take that dog for a 4-mile run, and wear your dog out, and you can put the victory patch on, which helps with endurance and performance and strength, and so essentially, yeah, got some people on Facebook saying hi. Hi,
Oh,
Nicole. Um,
I just noticed I got some people on the chat here. I was
so
okay.
the nice thing about this is that you can pair like Victory. You can pair Kick It, which actually helps with habits. So if you were to, like, there's people who smoke. I know someone who smoke 6 years, a pack and a half a day for 6 years. And she actually did the Ignite and the Kick It together, and she stopped. She didn't want to smoke. And that was one day. We used to actually spend weeks, months tapering people off with nicotine patches. The fact that they could essentially in one day not have the desire to smoke, which is huge. And then usually people
Yeah,
who quit
that is huge.
smoking
I used to
will.
smoke many years ago, and so I know that's a tough one to break. But actually, now they're saying it's not the nicotine that you're actually addicted to. There's a substance that they put in the cigarettes. I don't know if it's on the papers or in the tobacco. Not pyrazine, but something on that order. Some chemical that is
Well,
addicting. They just make
yes,
it
and
tough for people.
they make it it's hard. They put stuff in food to make it more addicting. So that's why
Yes, they
it's
do.
better to make your own food and not have those additives. But a long story
I
short, the combination of Kick It and Ignite would work very well to help with the cravings, and then to keep the exercise in check, so you don't have to do the New Year's resolution. You can actually get it done during the holidays, where you actually can address, raising your metabolic rate, not caving in to eating a bunch of junk food, and also having your workout before January 1st. You can actually do it now, where you can be proactive. And then actually
exactly. That's an excellent way of putting it.
exercise raises your endorphins, and that makes you more joyful and peaceful. So everything ties in. So layering ties in. So you get liberty for your balance, so you don't fall on the ice. Victory to get your workout done now instead of January 1st. Do peace and joy, so you're happy when you're not working out. And so it's kind of like, and then you've got you kick the habits before, so you're actually addressing things before they happen, and you can really enjoy the holidays. You can actually enjoy them, and
And
just
I
focus
think
on being together.
the Kick It would help with like if you have sugar cravings or
Yeah.
I really think it affects that, because you have the sense, you see all that stuff and you like to taste it.
Right.
And anyway,
It's just a good.
it'll keeps your appetite under control. Let me put it that way.
I mean, when you think about all the things that, and the stressors that, and things that you could add stress later on, you can actually address it proactively. So it's proactive wellness. It's proactive layering to help you enjoy your life, essentially, even when things might get more stressful.
Mhm.
And it's
And there's no
non-drug. There's no what?
was just going to say that people can use more than one patch too.
Oh yeah.
And even of the same kind, like the Defend patch or something like that. But
Well, that's a good one. As you get together and the weather changes and it gets to 24 degrees, and now when you're used to 70 degrees, people get sick, as they're in closed places and the weather changes. The Defend actually helps with the immune system because it actually has those blood cells separated. And because the blood cells are separated, you can it'll kill the anaerobes. And so essentially you're preventing, getting keeping your immune system strong, also for hormonal axis, and then the REM helps with sleep. So you're kind of addressing everything. The Defend is really good, and you can put more on. I mean, someone could have a stuffy nose, and I actually within 15 minutes actually have clear sinuses. I mean, it's amazing. No medical claims, but I just watched it happen so many times. It's nice to have a layer of protection. So
somebody mentioned they use Defend, Peace, Liberty every day.
it's not just holidays; it's every day. So essentially, I use Liberty, Defend, let's see, Victory, because I work out with my dog, and then Peace, and I'll use Focus if I got to get something done. And that's another one that you can use as you're.
I use that one too.
Peace and Joy if I'm dealing. Yeah. I usually use either Focus or Peace and Joy, because Focus is like helps with getting the tasks done. I got a lot of paperwork to do, so I'll use Focus. I don't need Peace and Joy if I'm trying to focus. So I kind of will toggle them, and then Ignite, just to so I can enjoy a meal and not have to worry about gaining weight. And I don't really use Kick It because I'm not really have any addictions, but if I found I have one that I don't know about, I'll layer it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these, and having a variety of them as well, because then you can really find out what works best for you.
Exactly.
By trying different combinations or
do you want me to share my screen and go over a few, so people understand visually what this is, what we're talking about?
That would probably be good. Yeah, that would be good. Let's do that.
Okay, so how do I actually share it? How do I do this?
It's right next to the share button is right next to the camera.
Okay.
And the little man, it's the one right there. And then if you put your mouse on it, it'll say share screen.
And then it'll allow.
Then you click that, and then it looks like you have that upper. Okay, now it'll tell you which window you want. Looks like you got it there now. Okay.
Oh, I want this one. I want this window. Let's see. Can you see this window?
Yes, it would be better if we got rid of the extra. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'll do it. I guess I'm not quite used to this platform. Okay. All right. You see it? Everything's good, right? All right. This is one of the best things I found that actually helps optimize people's body on a cellular level, on just neural recoding the brain, and essentially and it's not drug and nut supplement, and that is huge, and it complements someone's supplement regimen. So it's not, it's literally not a supplement, but it'll help you use your supplements. And when I started using these, it addressed problems I couldn't actually get addressed before, things that there really was no medical solution for, which was stress and balance. So
now on the balance, I think it's important to mention that, isn't that one of the markers of longevity?
Yes. In fact, it's 50%, increases your lifespan 50% if you have better balance. Because, an older person, if they fall, if they're in their 80s and they fall and break a hip, their life expectancy goes down to less than a year. So, because they can also get blood clots, and it's just not, dog come into the room. And
I didn't know it was that bad.
so, as we say, we're not making medical claims, and this is for educational, informational purposes only, and it's not. This is not intended to otherwise applied as medical advice. Okay, so this is really important. I'm going to play this video, which I think does a really good job of actually
Yes, they did.
showing how this works.
The sound is okay.
Can you hear it?
No. I don't know why, but I can't.
If it doesn't work, is it working or not?
Well, the video is going, but I can't hear the sound.
Okay. Well, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just play the video just for the video's sake. Let's see if I can actually.
Yeah, if the video is separate from that, it plays better. Like if it opened up on YouTube or wherever it is, and share it from there, it probably wouldn't have any.
You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm just going to show the most important part, because really it's the visual.
Mhm.
So anyway, germs, the skin is basically, has receptors for cold, heat, touch, temperature. And you basically, there's subconscious messages, and they're ion channels. See these ion channels? That's called a piezo 1 receptor. It's huge. So much literature about. So essentially, there's this is peer-reviewed research, and basically every single patch has an independent study that actually it's third party that actually proves it works. So essentially, the pain patch, which is called Freedom, has a 72% reduction in pain, and it actually lasts for 24 hours. And they have special ridges that have embedded code that's actually encrypted, that actually can rewire the brain. And these neural networks, he's got about 10 different patches to address 10 neural networks with a specific code. It's like Braille. He has one for sleep too. And most people.
So basically, some of these receptors, well, I guess it wouldn't be the receptors themselves, but maybe it is.
Yeah. So essentially, what happens is the neural networks get corrupted by different environmental stressors and toxins, and essentially they don't function well, and it can cause stress, sleep disturbance, pain, balance disturbances, stress and sadness, and it's sort of like weight gain. It all kind of interrelates, and it causes your immune system to fail, essentially. So it all interrelates. It's mind over matter. It's mind, and it's mind, body, spirit. It all connects. And this is like the ground floor of something huge, just like Apple. Just like Apple in the 70s, or Amazon in the 90s, or Tesla in the early 2000s. So we're at the ground floor of something huge, and essentially because they hacked the neural code. And he spent about 12 years working on this, because his mom had, MS since she was young, when he was a teenager. And because there was no solution for her, he was just wanted to understand what it was and understand the brain. So he researched the brain for 12 years and tested this, and helped her labs tremendously. So it's just, he discovered that this code, she was the inspiration, but he discovered this code to rewire the brain, which it can help and he has instrumentation and to measure everything. Everything's studied third party, so anything that he's discovering is true because it has a third party study along with it. So it's not just, gimmick or marketing. There's truth to everything, and it's like magic because there's a skin to brain connection, just like there's a gut brain connection. And just ridges, they're encrypted, so they can't be copied. And to actually fix the malfunctioning computer of our brains, but there's no way.
The corrupted files. We got corrupted files.
But there's no drug, there's no supplement, there's nothing like an antenna, there's no AI, there's nothing electronic in this. This is just a pattern. And literally everyone there's so many people have pain, stress, low energy, weight gain, and sleep issues, neuropathy, and sports concerns. And most of the things are expensive, hard to, and just the complexity, the expense. It's nice to have something easy and affordable that to layer. Liberty is really the foundational patch, and it helps with energy and mobility, and it helps people. It's an overall body and brain, coordination. Helps with coordination and overall wellness, and it's really specifically geared towards people who their gait and balance, because there's a 50% less, like, shortening of life for people that without their coordination and gait and mobility. So essentially, this is going to help people, just not fall. If you break a hip, like, it's a death sentence for someone who's over 80. So this is can help with so much morbidity, and it's the foundational patch. If you had to pick one, it would be the Liberty patch.
Is it anti-aging too?
It's not really anti-aging. We can't say it's anti-aging, but if you're not falling,
gotta be careful.
Yeah, if you're not falling, as you age, you're more likely to fall. Oftentimes people get brittle bones, and they'll break a bone. And so if you actually help your gait and stability, your lateral dynamic stability is increased about 39%. You're less likely to fall. So, when you fall and break a bone, and you can't exercise, that causes morbidity. Okay, so that's it's not really anti-aging. That's a medical claim. We're just it's just that
it is.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just being real careful. But this is what one Liberty patch does in terms of the brain. Normally we've got a lot of stressors and malfunction, and this is glucose utilization. I mean, cell phone use can actually cause an impaired glucose utilization in the brain for 2 weeks because of the low piezo-1 activity. And actually, since it stimulates the piezo-1 receptors, you're actually normalizing the glucose utilization in the brain within minutes. And this is with the Liberty patch. And it just like normalizes the neural circuits. This is glucose utilization. So within minutes, you're actually, repairing damage done by just a myriad of stressors in our environment. And essentially, it's a foundational patch. And Victory is another form of Liberty, but honestly, it's more geared toward the athletic performance. And you can use both. I use both, actually, because I have balance issues that I'm really happy to have the Liberty patch, because I fell and broke my arm in 2020. And it caused, I could run for a while, and then it was really bad. I actually got into a bad cycle because of a fall and an injury. So I'm really grateful to have Liberty. But then the Victory can run now 4 miles. I run with my dog. I go 4 miles every other day, and I hadn't been able to do that without injury for 4 years. It's been a while.
That's a good little run. I used to do that. I haven't done it for a long time now.
Mm-hmm. So, and then Defend helps with the immune system, and it helps with the HPA axis, and anyway, what's beautiful is this picture that you were asking about. This is a live blood sample, and it's basically within 30 minutes it starts working. And that's what I was talking about, oxygenation, because obviously if your cells are stuck together, you can't exchange oxygen, and that's key. This is so important. I mean, had protocols just to do this on my own, for my own self, when I was dealing with some health problems myself, and I could fast track a recovery just by this principle alone. This is very important. And if you have things like, I don't know, like I have people I know with mast cell who actually put 3 of these on, and their labs normalized. There's no medical claims, but the labs showed a difference before and after, and with sterling.
It's so amazing that we can't just speak the truth. We have to be very careful how we say everything.
Well, it's because it's a function. This is when you actually help separate the blood cells, your body functions better. You get more oxygen, and you can actually fix the damage done because you make more ATP from the mitochondria, which needs oxygen as an end receptor, and then that most of the ATP, 34 to 38 of the ATP that's generated within the mitochondria. Well, actually, within a cell, 36 of it is in the mitochondria, and most of it is from the electron transport cascade, which actually generates the majority of the ATP. That's energy. That's a unit of energy to fix the damage done and help repair the body from the damage and the stressors. And essentially, it's just a basic physiology. And so it's just it's basic physiology, but it's amazing what your body can do when given what it needs.
I think
it's just better.
I think one of the things that's important to address too is that because of some of the pictures that you have shown from the brain to the blood, it's real. I mean, it shows the difference. It's not a placebo effect. If it was a placebo effect, you wouldn't see the difference because it would all be in your head.
Right, exactly. And that's what I like about that picture. It's a picture says 1,000 words. And peace helps with stress, and joy helps with feeling hope and happiness. Although this isn't spelled right, it needs to be. Okay. Focus helps with studying and getting
that would be
done.
Good for school, huh? For kids.
Exactly. So, and also just getting jobs done, like your to-do list. Okay. You can actually accomplish your to-do list better. And then if you have pain, actually there's studies with this pain. People have gotten their pain. I mean, I've tested this on people, and their pain goes away like 80-90% within a few minutes. I mean, like 30 minutes to an hour, and they can't believe it. It's almost like this one woman, we were on a cruise ship, and she had a cane. She could barely walk. I put two of them behind on her lower back, and she actually wouldn't sit down because she loved standing up, and she actually wanted to throw her cane away. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. We're on a cruise ship, and she had the stability because we put the Liberty patch. So she had stability. She could walk really well without a cane, and she didn't have any pain. So, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, it's just function, because rewiring, you might get hurt, and you might have chronic pain, and but and maybe that injury isn't there anymore. And but your body, it's rewired the brain to actually assume it's there still. So you're actually kind of resetting the nervous system to actually be in the present as opposed to being in the past. And there's a type of pain syndrome. It's called, there's called phantom limb. So they think they have a limb and they don't have a limb. So
I've heard of that. That's so weird.
Yeah. And once you actually reset your nervous system, it can actually help with, it does help with pain. So it's amazing. And this is drug-free and supplement-free, so people who want to go without narcotics can have an option here. That's they don't have to take a pill.
That's big.
And this
We have
helps
so many
sleep.
addiction problems with that.
Yeah, and then sleep, people are taking pills to sleep, and this helps you sleep. So, I mean, these are nice layers to keep it either in weight loss. The fact that this is a safe way to burn calories without doing anything, or to kick a smoking habit, that used to take months of taper on nicotine patches. Now you've got something that works within a day, especially when you combine it with Ignite. So, and so these are drug-free solutions that are instant and effective and easy to use and non-invasive and non-reactive, and they're safe for everybody, including children and pregnant women and um, people on chemotherapy. It doesn't it doesn't interfere. It's not a drug and it's not a supplement. It's a class 1 medical exempt device. You don't have to change your lifestyle, but if you do, you're compounding the effect, and they're affordable. And they're FDA registered, so that means and they're basically, you got a 30-day money back guarantee, so there's really no risk except trying it. And if you actually get your gains that you want to get, that's awesome. And then you can, or you can just return it and get your money back. So there's really no risk. And then 95% of the people have a positive effect, but the Liberty test, there's a test of balance that actually it works with everybody. So when you layer and know how to layer these things, you're and fine tune and customize it for the individual. I get 100% effectiveness. But there is a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's really, and it's third party tested. So, and they're made locally in the United States. And so, and it's affordable. It's like $60 for a retail customer, but you can get it down to less than $27 a pack, with the bundle. I can help you get a better deal. I was like shopping, getting good deals. And this deal is all year. It's not just Black Friday. This is all year to get a good deal. I can help you with that. There's no competition at all, because this is one of the biggest breakthroughs in health and performance. It's wellness. And it's beautiful. And, just seeing these numbers of all the third-party research studies, it's great. It can just make or break someone. And this is a $500 billion industry, and everyone has one of these issues, whether they know it or not. And they have, and essentially it's a very nice solution. It's not a bunch of gimmicks. There's nothing like this. No other patch has this. I mean, nothing like this. And it's a 30-day money back guarantee. So it's and if you want to get your patches for free, there's a way of leveraging this. It's so new. It's so new that and you can get kits and get the price down much better, but $60 is a reasonable price. And essentially there's ways to get it paid for. And we're so early. This is where we are. We're so early that this is definitely something to look at if you have a problem that you want to solve and you want to do a low risk try. And if someone wants to actually do a business, there is a business to help others, because this is just starting. It's just beginning.
Yes, and I'd like to mention that I'm certainly doing it as a business, which is why I have an affiliate link in the description, because it helps support my channel. And it's not just about that though, but it's about really actually helping people. I mean, the results that we're seeing and the testimonies that we're hearing are amazing. It's like magic. And so I encourage people to try it, find out for yourself. Some people respond immediately. A few might take a few days or something. Do you have any explanation for that? Why
Excuse
some
me.
people some people respond immediately, and then others, it
Well,
might take a
everyone
little
is
bit longer.
different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Mhm.
And sometimes you know, it just everyone's made a little bit differently, but sometimes I had someone talk to me on the phone today. It was one of the doctors, and he had a patient that said it didn't help after a few weeks, but when he stopped using it, he noticed he missed it. So oftentimes you recalibrate to the present, and you might not remember, you know, you might blank out how you felt before, and then they just, it's like, oh, it's not doing anything. And then when you stop using it, okay, I'll tell you my personal, I I put a victory on instead of a liberty because I was going to, you know, I just didn't, I figured it was interchangeable, but I fell and I put the Liberty on, and then I didn't fall. So it's sort of like sometimes if you go without and you actually, like Sterling, actually didn't wear them for a day, and she fell twice, and then she ended up having dropping a bowl, and so she doesn't go without, you know, without them.
Mhm.
So and because they're drug free, they don't really interfere with any treatment. You know, there's no reason not to wear them. You know, I mean, they you know, it's not a drug and not a supplement. It's just a pattern, and eh,
Well, does the pathway eventually get firmed in, or with some people there may be some functional issues which requires them they'll need them all the time, or I'm just
well,
wondering.
the effects are cumulative. So as you wear them longer, your brain rewires, but we're constantly exposed to stressors and toxins. So you you know, it might be cumulative. Like I found that like I can go a day without wearing them and still have the benefits of having worn them for a while. When I first started wearing them and I skipped a day, I noticed a lot of difference when I, and then I was like stretching it out, you know, and wearing for days. They're really only good for 24 hours, but I had them on, you know, was getting more use out of them. But
We
I
stretch
really,
it out.
yeah, well, you know what? I fell because it was almost like I wasn't wearing them the next day. So, um, you know, so
Hmm.
it's, you have to play around with it and just kind of figure out what works for you versus because everyone is a bit different. And some days I don't wear. Some days if I have to really do a lot, I'll wear eight of them. You know, I have worn eight of them because I addressing all
Mhm.
angles. But if I'm like working on sorting through mail, I might not use peace and joy on that. I might just use focus, you know, and I might not use as many, you know. So it just depends on the day and the task. So, you
Mhm.
know, and you do get a cumulative effect. So you could not wear one. You know, I always wear Liberty. Liberty I have to wear every day, but some days I don't wear Victory. Some days I don't wear Rem. So it's like
Mhm.
depends on the task. And as you wear them longer, your brain is rewired. So you could probably skip, you know, or just alternate different things. You know, but I do think
Mhm.
the Liberty patch, especially for an older person, should be worn, and an athlete should probably wear the victory patch, you know, to optimize
Mhm.
their those two are foundational
Well,
patches.
what's really nice about that, if you're a professional athlete, for example, that is drug free, ingredient free, and it's not going to, and it can improve your performance. And it wouldn't matter if you were drug tested or anything, because there's none of that in it, and you still get benefit, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah,
Who was it? I think I just saw football. Is a big
yeah,
advocate
no,
at this point. I forget his. I don't
exactly.
follow that sort of thing that much, so I don't remember his name. But is it the Tigers or something like that?
Yeah, I think Clemson or something.
I don't
He's
know.
um.
Yeah, I don't
So
remember his name either. There was another athlete too. I had two. I think there was two different ones. But anyway, um, once they catch on, I bet you we'll see a lot more of that.
yeah, well, my son has a wrestling tournament this weekend, so I'll put one on him. He might. He hears me talking about them, but I'm like, anything for an extra boost.
Well, really, and it's drug free, so that's important. So
That's right.
anyway, people have an option over these holidays. Oh, you could give someone, even if it was just a sample pack, a very rewarding yet inexpensive gift. Like if you know somebody that's dealing with a lot of pain on a regular basis, that could be something you could give them for Christmas in a
Yeah,
card.
that's a great.
You know?
Yeah, you could put it in a Christmas card. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
So
this little patch has, or this little pack has 4 patches in it, and it would fit into a card real easy. And I think if you even retail, this 4-pack is only around $10 or $11.
retail it's
Um,
15, and
oh,
wholesale
retail, okay.
it's 11. And there's ways if you get a pack, you can get it down to 7.
Even less.
Yeah.
So those could be potentially gifts for people that are, reasonably priced, and the benefit that someone would get from it is probably more memorable than any other gift you could give them, if you think about it.
Pain-free holiday season.
Exactly.
Stress-free.
Oh, wow. What happened? I don't know what happened to Susan, but you need to come back in, Susan. I don't know what happened. You just disappeared all of a sudden.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. Wow, that was weird. But anyway, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted by being gone for a minute? That's weird.
I don't know.
Very strange.
I was streaming to Facebook, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I do too. My channel is streaming to Facebook too. So, but anyway, there's a potential here for Christmas gifts. There's a potential to give the gift of a pain-free holiday season for somebody. So that's something you might want to think about.
Stress-free, joyful, pain-free, productive, and healthy, because you're actually going to address your New Year's resolutions before your New Year's, so you never have to actually fight an uphill battle. So you're addressing a lot of issues. You're addressing everything. Everything is actually taken care of. Isn't that great? All the problems are solved.
Yes, isn't that a nice thought? With all the chaos going on around us, we have everything that we need to stay peaceful and content in our own little world, with a few little patches that can help us stay there. And
exactly.
Not think about things that'll stress you out.
You know, and the nice thing about this is everyone use it, even kids. Everyone can use it. There are not that many things that everyone can use.
No, even a pregnant woman, for that matter.
Yeah.
And children.
You can't even take a Tylenol,
Exactly. And children for studying, for school. If you have a child that has a lot of problems studying or staying focused, there's a patch for that too. And I'm anxious to see down the road. I'm sure there'll be additional patches added.
Oh yeah, he's got. In fact, he's doing research, third-party research, on all the everything. Before he actually releases it. So he has to have third-party double-blind prospective studies before he will actually release a patch. Unlike many companies that don't have any of the third-party research, they actually just have a white paper in-house. This one has every single thing has a third-party research. It's proven to work before it's even available. So
that's really big.
Well, about animals, okay, let me tell you about animals.
Yeah, did you see that? I was going to bring that up.
Oh, I actually, it's awesome. About animals. It's not meant for animals, but I'm just going to say FYI. I have a friend who had a desperately ill animal that's probably needs to be, well, like she doesn't want to put him down, but he's got lymphoma, and she put two defend patches on his hairless area, and he jumped up on the bed, and he was, licking her and met her at the door and ran up around. She hasn't seen him like this in like a year. They're not meant for
Wow.
animals. Okay, they're not meant for animals, and but when people are desperate with their animals, um, I mean, desperate times mean desperate measures, and he will develop specific animal patches. But there is a homology about 95% of us with our animals, and actually, piezo one is works in the animal kingdom too. So there may be enough overlap in the genetics that it could. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it for your animal, but if you have it on hand and you're in a pinch, you can try it. But I can't guarantee it's gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna put any. It's not really meant for animals. But and then, and I think Sterling's gonna try it on her animals just because
Yeah.
Michelle's story was so amazing.
Uh-huh.
I have another Michelle that has an animal that she.
I'd almost have to shave the belly of my dog in order to get a patch on there because there's a lot of hair. She has a lot of hair, so it's a
Right,
little more tricky
the
for
belly
animals.
usually has like my lab has a hairless area in the abdomen. I think
Yeah.
smaller dogs are going to be more difficult. I mean, it depends on the breed, but I mean, if you use them for yourself and you have some to spare to play around, you can try it. They can't be cut. They just have to be, and it's only meant for 24 hours. And try it if you have some extra to spare and play around with, but there's no guarantee. It's not meant for animals, but it helped her
Mhm.
dog, and he will come up with animal ones later.
That that's what's kind of fun to experiment with these different combinations and different things, and to try them and see what it does for you. And I love them, and I'm happy to be advocating for them, and as well as using them.
So, Gail,
I
what's your
use what I
biggest?
suggest.
What have they done for you, Gail?
Well, I use it for focus when I do my shows. It kind of helps keep me on focusing. I find that use the I've used the peace patch when I'm feeling stressed or getting stressed from something else that's going on or happening. So I've done that, and I use the Liberty. And if I have a lot of work to do, like physical work, that's when I'll use the Victory patch. I kind of gear what I use based on what I'm got going on that day. And I also have my son using them, and they've been a big help for him as well, especially because
And
he
how they
deals with a
help
lot of,
him?
well, he's very stressed, and anxiety runs really high, and he gets triggered very easily because of it. And as long as I get a patch on him in the morning, it has made a big difference. I mean, it's reduced the anxiety. It's reduced the um, quick to anger, or the duration of letting an issue go on and on and on and on. All of that has improved substantially with him. And he even asked for the patch now if he knows he's going to be stressed too at work or what have you. So I'm very grateful for that, because that's been a godsend as far as I'm concerned.
That's great.
And he uses the pain patch on his lower back when if he sleeps funny, and or if his back is aching from he does dishwasher work. And I have used the pain patch when I was having problems with um, my foot when I walked a lot, because I have a toe that's acting weird. I don't know how else to put it. But those have been. I'm trying to think if there's something I'm forgetting right now, but that pretty much covers it. I'd have to look at the patches and see what else. Um, I like the Ignite patch, by the way. I feel like that's really working right now. But
So anyway, well, I found it helped with stress. I've had a lot of stressors, and it helped put things in perspective, and I don't stress out over little
yes,
things anymore, and I don't have to ruminate over things that a what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda has been a motto of mine for most of my life, and now I don't have to go to woulda, shoulda, coulda, it's just
yeah. Like if you got something really stressful, you have to go to or be at or whatever. Like for me, that might be something like court. Anyway, talk about a time to take a peace patch, so you don't get all anxietied out or stressed out or what have you. And same with, I don't do the all kinds of gift giving and stuff like that at Christmas anymore. I just had to stop doing that because I don't have the resources to do it. So that's reduced a lot of stress right there in and of itself. But there's also that problem of depression during the holidays, and that's when that peace and joy would be really helpful for that too. So anyway, I think there's some wonderful options for people out here, and I wouldn't be so excited and doing shows about this if I didn't think it was really a major breakthrough.
it's a game changer.
Because it definitely is. I've worked in healthcare too. I've never seen anything like it. And you can do it at home by yourself too. That's another lovely part of it.
Yep, and you don't have to get a prescription
Exactly.
for it. It's a class 1 medical device, so it's FDA registered. That's real important, that FDA registration. In fact, if something's not FDA registered, you shouldn't use it. So this is safe and effective, and everyone can use it and not have to worry. And there is, just in case you have you don't like it, you can return it and you get your money back. So it's good.
Yeah, so you're not going to lose.
Yep.
There's no. Maybe we should mention that we're temporarily out of stock on the that one patch in particular.
Oh, Flow. Yeah.
Flow. Yeah, Flow.
Yeah. The substitute for
Anyway.
Flow, what I'm using is Peace, Joy, and Focus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to let people know that.
Right.
So
and then
anyway, that will be.
And Liberty is actually combined with those. You kind of address it just using alternate pathways. It's like and you don't use them all. You might use 2 in one day. It's like an art of layering.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Like what's going to work best?
Patchwork. Let's see if patchwork.
I have, I have found that the arms tend to be the best. Yep. I've tried some other places and they get squished or if you lay down. Like I had some on my chest and that don't work that well either. So
I think the arms work the best. The lower arm or the upper arm, but I think the upper arm works the best for me.
Yeah.
But people who have pain in their back, I actually had someone with a finger pain, and they put it on the top of their hand. I've had a person with a headache. They put it in the middle of.
But I read on, that's where I put the sleep patch. If I wear one, I put it right on my forehead. My son goes, "What are you doing? What is that?" Anyway, it might look funny, but it works. And I like it, and I use that as well when I can or when I feel like I need it. So anyway, I guess we've covered a lot.
Yes, we have, but it was a pleasure to just talk about this. It's fun. because it's something that really works and brings joy, peace and joy. And it's always good to make the world a better place.
Right. And you can really actually pretty much take charge of your own health for most things, that without having to go to the doctor, without having to get a prescription and all that sort of thing. So I would encourage you to try some and see what happens. I think you'll be very happy with the result. So unless you have anything else to say, Susan, we can probably call this a wrap.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening, and I hope you try it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Thank you so much.
All right.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers. Stronger than ever, never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show